Yeah, we I just keep
Best movie ending. Yeah.
you want a curious, truth-seeking AI, and I think a curious, truth-seeking AI will want to foster humanity, because we're much more interesting than a bunch of rocks. Like you say, I love Mars, but Mars is kind of boring. Like it's just a bunch of red rocks. There's some cool stuff. It's got a tall mountain. It's got the biggest ravine and the tallest mountain. But there's no animals or plants and there's no people. So humanity is just much more interesting if you're a curious, truth-seeking AI than not humanity. It's just much more interesting. As humans, we could go, for example, and eliminate all chimps. If we put our minds to it, we could say, and we could go out and we could annihilate all chimps and all gorillas, but we don't. There has been encroachment on their environment, but we actually try to preserve the chimp and gorilla habitats. And I think in a good scenario, AI would do the same with humans. It would actually foster human civilization and care about human happiness. So this is the thing to try to achieve, I think.
But what does the landscape look like if you have Grok competing with OpenAI, competing with all these different, like, how does it work? Like, what if you have AIs that have been captured by ideologies that are side by side competing with Grok?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we? So this is one of the reasons why you felt like it's important to not just be an observer, but participate and then have Grok be more successful and more potent than these other applications.
Yes, as long as there's at least one AI that is maximally truth-seeking, curious, and and for example, weighs all human lives equally, does not favor one race or gender, then that people are able to look at Grok at XAI and compare that and say, hey, wait a second, why are all these other AIs being basically sexist and racist? Then that causes some embarrassment for the other AIs, and then they improve. They tend to improve, just in the same way that acquiring Twitter and allowing the truth to be told and not suppressing the truth forced the other social media companies to be more truthful. In the same way, having Grok be a maximally truth-seeking, curious AI will force the other AI companies to also be more truth-seeking and fair.
And the funniest thing is, even though like the socialists and the Marxists are in opposition to a lot of your ideas, but if this gets implemented and you really can achieve universal high income, that's the greatest socialist solution of all time. Like literally, yes. No one will have to work.
Correct. But like I said, so there is a benign scenario here, which I think probably people will be happy with if as long as we achieve it, which is sustainable abundance. Which is if everyone can have if you ask people like, what's the future that you want?
Right.
I think a future where we haven't destroyed nature, like we have the national parks, we have the Amazon rainforest, it's still there. We haven't paved the rainforest. Like the natural beauty is still there, but people have, nonetheless, everyone has abundance. Everyone has excellent medical care. Everyone has whatever goods and services they want.
And we essentially
it kind of sounds like heaven.
It sounds like
it
is like the ideal socialist utopia, and this idea that the only thing you should be doing with your time is working in order to pay your bills and feed yourself sounds kind of archaic, considering the kind of technology that's at play.
Yeah.
Like a world where that's not your concern at all anymore. Everybody has money for food. Everybody has abundance. Everybody has electronics in their home. Everybody essentially has a high income. now you can kind of do whatever you want. And your day can now be exploring your interests, doing things that you actually enjoy doing. Your purpose just has to shift. Instead of, I'm a hard worker and this is what I do and that's how I define myself. No, now you can fucking golf all day. You can, whatever it is that you enjoy doing can now be your main pursuit.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds crazy good.
Yeah, that's
So
the
the
benign,
best-
that's the benign scenario that we
The
should be aiming
best
for.
ending to the movie is actually pretty good.
Yes. Like I think there is still this question of meaning, of like making sure people don't lose meaning. So hopefully they can find meaning in ways that are that's not derived from their work.
And purpose. Purpose for things that you find things that you do that you enjoy. But there's a lot of people that are independently wealthy that spend most of their time doing something they enjoy.
Right.
And that could be the majority of people.
It's pretty much everyone.
But we would have to rewire how people approach life,
Mhm.
which seems to be like acceptable because you're not asking them to be enslaved. You're exactly asking them the opposite. Like no longer be burdened by financial worries. Now, go do what you like.